Guys, welcome back to another video. So today, just want to talk about how it's really hard for a lot of people to start something new, especially towards dropshipping, because that's something that I'm in. And I do these videos once, every while, like how to start, why you're not starting, all these things, and honestly, it's probably because a lot of you guys are having this problem and I know it. 110% you're watching this video or you're subscribed to this channel because you want to start dropshipping or you want to start something, but it's really difficult to start. It's even hard to just get your foot into the door, and solely probably because you don't know where to start. A lot of people have the mistake of starting a website before they've even done any videos, and it's stupid. For organic especially, it's you really want to start making your creatives first, and then after you've made your creatives and something's gone viral, that's when you make your website. Obviously in the beginning you kind of want to learn a little bit more first, I guess, but you really don't need a website first. I know most of the people will ignore that message of avoiding to do their website. I don't know, I was one of them. I thought that was doesn't make sense. How can you wait? But, again, it's trial through error, as always. People can tell you all these things, but then you won't listen still and you'll still do it. But then you'll realize later on, if you actually stick with it, that it's actually, it's probably better to just go viral first and then make a product page or make a website. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things is a lot of people are kind of ignorant and they don't want to listen, or I don't know, they have a big ego, and beginners all think that they know everything, which is funny because I was that as well. I thought I knew what a good video was. I thought I knew what a good website looked like. I thought I knew all these things, but then how can I know all these things? I've literally just started, only for a week, only for 2 weeks, even for a month. How do I know what's a good video? I don't. It took me literally probably a year to even I remotely understand what a good video is, and what a bad video is. So yeah, it takes a lot of time. It's not something that, if you think you know something, you definitely don't. It's a hard truth to swallow, but it's true. You really don't know anything, and it's okay. And I guess it's also hard because there's so much information out there. It's who can you trust, right? There's so many gurus, so many scammers. Who do you know, who is right and who is wrong? It's really difficult. And I was facing that kind of issue as well when I was starting. But then the hardest thing was really just putting your foot through the door and trying to stay consistent with it. You gotta be in some ways driven, and some ways understand that you can't give up, and getting yourself into that mentality is really difficult at the start because you're literally jumping out of routine to start something completely new. And, do you remember how when you start the gym, right, and the first maybe 2-3 weeks is probably one of the hardest? If you wanted to go 3 to 5 days a week to the gym, and your first week is probably one of the most difficult. Second week, it's still difficult, but it's feeling okay. And then by the third week, you're it's all right. And then fourth week, fifth week, it gets a little bit easier. Sixth week, you feel like you can do this. And then you keep going, and eventually it becomes a routine for you, right? It becomes a habit, right, by that time. And essentially, you need to understand how to start. You need to create a routine, and it needs to take a certain amount of time for you to be able to create that routine and then into that habit. I think it takes about 60 days to actually build a proper habit. So, with that in mind, it's clear that you have a goal to set, which is you need to do something, whatever it is, for 60 to 90 days consistently, right? No weeks that you stop. And you do that, and essentially by the 90 days or 60 days, you'll probably be at a point where you're I don't want to actually give up anymore because I've been doing it for so long. What's the point of giving up? Let's just keep it going. it's literally like one of those. Like you just got to keep hustling through it. And then it get to a point like where you've done it for a year, like me, and then you've realized you can actually do this for the rest of your life. And honestly, once you've made that first dollar online, like that you've made yourself, you literally can't go back. It's like so difficult to look back onto it. Like for me, at least, it was really difficult. Once I made my first sale, like that literally locked me in. Like for me, I did not stop after that. I was constantly on the drive to look for the next big thing. And then, yeah, things just went up eventually, right? But for me, it was like, it took a while still to like kind of make something crazy. Like I still haven't done anything insane yet. Like I've had like a few 1K days. My biggest day was over like 2K. But for me, that's actually not that much. Like I've seen other people making like way more than me, like real people that are actually doing it. So yeah, for me, it's not that bad. But there's better for sure. But yeah, like it's crazy. That one sale, the first sale I made, locked me in, and it wasn't even in routine yet. So my very first sale was on a Facebook ad, and it was, I think, my first or second week of dropshipping. I think it was the second weekend of me doing dropshipping or something that I made my first sale, and it was insane. Like it was literally like insane. I could not stop thinking about it. I remember that day. That first sale is insane, but it's literally like a dopamine hit, right? Like for me, making videos and watching them to see which one will actually go viral is a dopamine hit. If it does go viral, it's a dopamine hit. And then making that sale is also a big dopamine hit, I think, for myself. So, being that, understanding how it takes a long time to build the routine, but you need to do it within the next 60 to 90 days. Don't miss a single day within that period, right? And then to make sure you get that first dopamine hit, whatever it is. For, dropshipping, it's probably making a viral video or getting your first sale is a big dopamine rush. But once you get it, it's like you keep chasing it. You don't stop. It becomes easier. It's still harder, but it's easier than before, And for other stuff, maybe for like an agency, like marketing agency or something, it's like locking in your first client. Could be a big dopamine rush. So you got to really look at what you're doing or what you're trying to do and see what that can cause like a big dopamine rush, because that's like probably the peak. But yeah, I would say that's how I would start now. If I was to start from the beginning and I was like, a lazy person, like most people are. Even if you think you're not lazy, you are lazy in a lot of ways. But you need to become basically another person in a lot of ways. Like for me, I would say I'm basically unrecognizable from like a year before I started, sorry. Literally unrecognizable. So yeah, I used to be someone that likes clubbing. I owned a nightclub. I used to go to a lot of raves, a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs. And now I've been sober for like over a year, done nothing. I've only, the last time I went out was like, I went to a Drake concert, and that was like the first time I went out in like 7-8 months or something. So yeah, like you got to become a different person. You got to stop going out, stop drinking, go on these monk mode things to just get your brain switched on. Like, yeah, monk mode doesn't have anything to do with dropshipping specifically. Like, for me, a lot of mentors say monk mode, meditation, all these things don't help dropshipping, right? But for me, in a lot of ways, it does, because it switches my mind on, it clears my mind, and keeps me in like a positive mindset doing all these things. So yeah, a lot of things are like, they're healthy for you, so then it'll make you automatically feel better for you to be able to stay consistent with dropshipping. But I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a sensitive person. Other people are not, and they just go full in, and it's crazy. I don't know, maybe I'm just different, but it does help. But I guess you don't want to, it's not your sole focus to do like monk mode and meditation and these things. But I think in the beginning, it's a good way to get yourself to be consistent in a lot of things and to learn how to be consistent and disciplined. So it kind of builds your skills on those. And then once you kind of build that consistency, you feel like you can do anything. So yeah, for me, it's about that switch up, but a lot of people don't understand that. But I would say definitely try all these things out, see how you go. Maybe it'll help you. So yeah, that's all I want to say for this video. Hopefully this video has got one of you guys to get started. I really do wish, you guys watching this do get started. I know it's like really difficult for you guys. So yeah, I hope this motivated you to get going, to get started, to get the grind on. And yeah, that's all I want to say for this video. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, see you in the next one.